Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a War Machine Battle Report, 50 points, and it's going to be me against my brother. I definitely say that my brother is a better player than me, but it's always a real competitive game between us, and this one here, we're actually playing pretty competitive casters. On my side, I'm doing eHaley 2, and on his side, he's doing Goreshade3. Now, these are both ones where we're more getting into it. We both know that they're going to be good casters, but it's going to take us a while to actually get practiced up. The scenario that we're going to be playing here is the one where there's kill box, first 1 to 5. You get 1 for destroying the objective, 1 for controlling a flag, 2 for destroying the flag. But the objectives that are on your side are basically, enemy/friendly type thing, so they can't score on that flag until they destroy it. Now, a big thing here is that for him and me, we both really want first turn. For my part here, I just want to get up there and be able to shoot with his guys, but unfortunately, he won the first turn, so I decided to take this side because really the forest won't bug me too much because my blazers can go through there, and I felt that because there's this kill box, the wall that I have is further back, so it'll give me a little bit of extra room to be hiding away. So just to kind of go through what we're going to be having on either side, I'm going to be having eHaley running the Squire and Thorn. There's also a Journeyman running the big guy, the Stormwall. I have the Max of the, the Rangers, the Gun Mages with UA. I have the Black 13th, and then the Min of the Blazers. And that's really my points. They go pretty quickly. Over there on his side, he's using, I believe it's the Ripjaw Jack, also having a Scarlock. He's going to have the new Max of these Bane Riders. First time I'll be facing them, Max Bane Knights and Max Bane Thralls with UA. He's also going to have the Min Black Banes, 2 of the Machine Wraiths, and then also 2 Warwitch Sirens. So lots of dudes. He did actually forgot to bring his Machine Wraiths, so he's going to be using those little feral guys, some larger bases. I'm already derping up and forgetting that I'm going second, so I pre-deployed the Stormwall there because, I don't want to be dealing with these walls. That's a nice little central place for him to be. But overall, a big issue I have with his list is he has lots of the occultation going around with him. And so even though I can see, since I have the UA on my gun mages, I can see through the stealth, it still is going to really limit my options here. So with him putting his Bane Knights at the top, and he's going to be putting his Bane Thralls at the bottom. The real issue here is the whole idea that, like I said, my Blazers want to go through the bottom woods, but they would rather not deal with stealth units. And so even though that was my initial plan looking at this, this is going to be kind of bad deployment here. Because, he's not forcing me to play down here, but if I don't, he's going to kind of overrun this side of the board and probably start scoring off this flag down here. So looking kind of scary. He's going to be saving a lot of his stuff because, of course, for those who don't know Goreshade's feat, basically any of his warrior models in his command range, he can just basically make them explode in an AoE 3, and anything that's in that template is going to be stationary. So at some point, these guys are just going to be running into my lines. He'll come up then, pop feet, and that's really bad. And that's why he has all this incorporeal stuff, is because it can just run right through me. So I'm starting to do my deployment now, setting myself up. I really am pretty sure that what I can do here is I can be putting down the covering fire to be stopping the Bane Thralls, and so it really is going to come down to shooting and killing these Bane Knights as fast as possible. One of the things I kind of derped here is I just kind of continued on with my plan and put the Blazers down at the bottom, even though they don't have a lot to do. I kind of thought that I could shoot the objective and do electro leaps and stuff like that, but that's going to force me to get far too close. I don't really want to be there. And then he's going to be toughing a third of them. So they would have been a lot better at the top there, doing brutal damages into the knights, the riders rather, because he can actually raise his guys back up for a cost of 2. So what I really want to do is kill all the riders in one go. But here we go. We're going to be starting the game. Of course, like I said, my brother is going first. And I'm sure, the biggest thing here is just going to be running up and him taking the center of the board. So he's going to be putting Scything Touch up onto his Bane Riders. He's going to be having Occultation being put onto his Bane Knights. And I believe that's pretty much it for spells. One of the things I've been kind of harping on my brother on is that he's sometimes kind of bad on the clock. So of course with this game here too, I'm also going to be looking to see if I can get the death clock win, because hey, you know, these guys are scary, and if I can just win by that, that'd be fantastic. But I'm going to tell you right now, either I've been wrong in my harassing of him, or he's been really working on it, but yeah, he's been getting a lot faster, so the clock is not really going to play much a part in this game. I can see there that the clock was a little bit too high for the screen here, but really I can just let you know that it's not going to really matter. He's running down here with a couple of his fast units, with one of his War Witches, and also with the Machine Wraith. The Machine Wraiths are basically fairly useless because they can't really possess my Colossal or my Character Jack, but they can still run up and be a target for his feet to really stationary all my guys. So this right flank is going to be very dangerous. I'm hoping, really, like I said, I might have to give up a few control points, but then I should be able to kill enough that either it's, you know, if I can get him to under half, then he can't be scoring. I just got to make sure to kill the solos. I would really like to kill that arc node, but of course he's going to keep it nice and safe and a little bit farther back. But yeah, up he comes. Things are nice and fast. He could have actually gone a little bit farther, but he decides to keep the wall bonus, which I don't know if it was a good thing or not. I mean, the thing with Bane Knights is you always kind of want one to die, so you get Vengeance. You get an extra 3 inches. But really, that's his turn. He's now passing it on to me. So with this, I didn't really need to allocate any focus because it's just not really needed. My first idea here is that I need to speed bump these riders because I'm going to try and kill the front one or something, but I want something in the way so they can't get to my gun mages. So they get a run, and I put 2 guys over there. Then I'm just kind of, first of all, I almost did my Thorn first, but I go over here with Junior first, put Arcane Shield up onto Thorn. Thorn goes up. Again, like I said, I don't want to get him too far forward and get him killed. Otherwise, then the Stormwall comes up, puts down its cover fire, and I'm also going to be putting a pod down behind that statue there as another good kind of like Electroleap target. So that's what he's really doing now, just getting position, waiting there with my Blazers as well. Also, I believe kind of tempting in that War Witch Siren, which I can then kill with a pod. But otherwise now, I'm kind of deciding what to do over here and trying to see how much work I can actually get done. The gun mages can get sniped and they can kind of do some far shots, but even then it's not going to be very much. He is pretty far away. So I come up with eHaley first. I measure my command range to see what I can do, and then I realize, hey, I can get a little bit further with TK, and now I'd be in a really good spot for feet. I start thinking to myself, though, that, it'd be really nice to hold off a turn for my feet, but now that I'm up here, I'm kind of locked in, because if I don't feet, he's just going to be able to assassinate my caster. So I'm really locked into having to use my feet now, and one of the really stupid things here is I just threw away 2 rangers. With him being locked down with the feet, those 2 rangers over there is just an absolute complete waste. So I also put up Deadeye onto my gun mages. They're going to advance. They're going to be doing some snipes, and after a few hot dice, I'm able to kill, I believe, one of the Bane Riders is going to go down. They got some pretty serious armor. Sometimes you're going to get those hot dice and kind of puck away, but the nice thing is that they only have 5 boxes, so as long as you do a little bit of damage, it's all going to work out. Kind of made a mistake here where I was doing my shooting at the far one. Really, especially with the math involved, I should have just been shooting the close one, making sure I take down at least 1 model. He is going to be able to bring him back, but at least then it's just on 1 box and a lot easier to kill later, which is actually something I didn't know at this point. I actually thought that they came back with all their boxes, which was going to be kind of ridiculous. But anyway, there you go. I damaged 1 and killed another. He's under my feet, and right now we're just trying to mark down so he knows all the things that will be in there, which is really his Bane Riders, his Bane Knights, the Arc Node, the 1 War Witch, and the Bane Thralls. One of the reasons why I don't like popping the feet this early is it doesn't have a massive effect. if I allowed him to get a little bit closer on his turn, I can pop feet and really mess with his order of activations. What I found is that when I do these eHaley feats this far away, is that it really doesn't matter. No matter which one I say you do first, unless you've really layered yourself, it doesn't really change anything. So here we're going around and I'm telling him, who to activate first, but it's really not changing anything. So he's not able to run, so he's just kind of walking up. And that means on my next turn, I can really try killing off these guys. He's going to be dropping the occultation now, which I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I do have a lot of stuff that ignores stealth, but at least that would have helped them a little bit more, having that on. And of course he moves up, he engages those two rangers, which is going to force me to have to take free strikes to actually shoot them. So that was just kind of a derpy thing there. He thinks about putting up his arc node, which I was really hoping he was going to do, because then I could take it out. But after a little bit of thought, he decides to be a little bit more careful, which was the right play. Keeps them further back, and then the Bane's just going to kind of walk up and look scary. And it's at this point here I kind of realize I probably want to be shifting more to the left, because I really can't do a lot of damage to these guys on the right. I could go up and, like I said, I could shoot the objective and do some electro leaps, but then after that he's going to run up, he's going to engage, the siren's going to be able to charge in, so it really would be better if I just kind of started shifting over to the left, try and do as much damage as possible, and then kind of go from there. But there's going to go with Goreshade. He's going to be raising up that other rider. It is a little bit limited of where they can go. It has to be in the command range of Goreshade, which is pretty big, but it also has to be within 3 inches of the unit. So that's the real limiting factor. So there he goes there. And really looking at this here, I mean, I was able to hold him back for a turn, but I really need to start killing off his guys now. It would be really nice if I could kill off all the Bane riders, but it's going to be tough, because especially with his guy farther in the back there, that's going to take a lot. I mean, the Stormwall can come over, he can shoot down one probably. Haley can go and kill one with a time bomb, and then now that he's close enough, I can be doing a lot of going for crit brutals, and with those, I mean, armor 18 or whatever, I can still get some plinking damage in there and be able to kill these guys off. So I'm hoping that maybe I can kill off all the Bane riders, but it's going to be iffy. And meanwhile, I still need to be doing a fair number of shots into the Bane Knights to make sure they just don't crush me as well. The Siren does run in and engages me, and I'm not really too worried about that, because either I could just gunfighter and try and kill it, or more likely I'm just going to go up and hit it with a pod. So that's what I do. I allocate 1 to Thorn, and I allocate 2 to the Stormwall after I upkeep my Arcane Shield. I'm going to be taking away these cover fire templates, and it's time to start doing some fun. So first thing I have to do is get it over with and get rid of my 2 Rangers, give them the free strikes. So go ahead, roll your attacks. Yep, dead. Yep, dead. What a waste. You really got to plan ahead. And I mean, if you're going to be doing that stuff, I mean, it turned out too that when we talked about it, they would have done nothing, because he just would have cursed them, hit them on 6s, and bad news there. So I'm just going up here with my Rangers, trying to shoot down a few of these Banes. They do a pretty good job of it, rolling fairly well for the most part, and a couple of them are marked as well. In case it's hard to see, on the other side of the statue is one of the Black Banes and also one of the Machine Wraiths. I definitely want to kill these 2 guys, because they're the advanced ones that could really run up and stationary my stuff in the back. But luckily I have a lot of magical guns. One of the things I derped though is that because where I put my Rangers, I blocked a lot of the line of sight. Came up here with Thorn then, he ran up there. He's going to be really nice, because first I can arc through that time bomb, and then as well, if he charges me with his Bane Knights, I have set defense, so I can pretty much take on those charges fairly well. Otherwise, now I'm going with the Stormwall. He pods away that War Witch to get out of the way, put down some covering fire, and then I kind of wonder, like, oh, what am I going to be really shooting with my guns? I don't really have anything here on the right that's really good to shoot. And in the end, what I decide what to do is, of course, I'm going to shoot the one Bane Rider. So I'm going to be shooting him and then boosting damage and taking him off. And then the other shot, because I really can't do anything over here, is just going into the objective, doing 7 damage, and yeah, you know, might as well start working against it. After that, I believe I'm going to be going with my Blazers next, or maybe it was eHaley. Let's see what I do here. Yeah, going to be the Blazers, and of course here, like I was saying, they're nice and fast, so I mean, with 9 inches, I can really get to some nice angles to shoot, but damn did I make it hard for myself with the positioning of these Rangers. Luckily, the Machine Wraith is larger, so I can see it over anyway, and my first idea was just to shoot it with the Electro Leap, and that's what I'm going to do here with my first shot, kill it, but then I forgot that the Electro Leap isn't magical, so actually it can't hurt the Black Bane. Luckily, from the just barely, I had a little line from my front one going over to the Black Bane, so I'm going to be able to kill him too. The last one's just going to be doing an Electro Leap shot to the objective to kill off one of the Bane Thralls. Yeah, I really need to get one of these laser pointers. I mean, sometimes you can really get down and do that whole true line of sight thing, but laser pointers are really the way to go. Just need to go and invest in one of those eventually. As I'm trying to get a more competitive player, you know, I'm trying to get up there, but yeah, little by little. I even got to get my little widgets first to make sure I'm doing my 3 and 5 and stuff inches a little bit more accurately than the tape measure. So fast calving over. I did pretty good with these guys, you know, 3 models down, 2 of them being fairly critical, and now they're in a lot better position too, being more central as well. Here on the left, I am now seeing that it's time to try and kill the rest of these Bane Riders. So now I have to worry about the kill box. I go back pretty much as far as I can, and I'm going to be arcing through a time bomb, putting on the Deadeye as well onto the gun mages, because once you do that, going for critical brutal isn't that hard. But the time bomb is going to be hitting and is going to be killing one of the Bane Riders, so boom, there goes one. And then now it's just really that question about whether I can kill the other 3, which would be very, very critical. So going with my Black 13th first, who have regular brutal shots. And I mean, a dice -8, again, I should just be doing like a couple of points for each guy. But hey, you never know when you'll get a little bit hotter dice, and then you can like kill a guy off. So at first I start off and I don't really get any damage at all. But then I start rolling and I start getting some better ones. Kill off one. And Ryan's able to shoot her second shot at another one and do a little bit more plinking damage. Actually kills it. So now that was really lucky. Shouldn't have really done that much. So now all I need to do is with the gun mages kill that one last guy. One last guy, and he can't bring any back. You know, I am going to be taking a counter charge from the Bane Knights, but what do you got to do? So I start shooting forward with the guys that are within range to do critical brutal, which is really just the front few. And I'm able then to kill him, which means now the rest can do snipes and start trying to kill off these Bane Knights. You know, sure, I'm giving him vengeance, but whatever. I just need to be killing as much as possible. And at this point here, my brother is actually getting a little bit upset with it because I'm just really killing off lots of his things, right? I mean, that's one of the things that sucks playing at Signar, where you're just watching your guys being shot off the board. But the biggest thing I know is the worry here is that Goreshade3 has a hell of an assassination where he can be running guys up to you, he freezes you, and then he starts doing his one offensive spell, which only costs 2. He can also pull his guys your focus or fury off as well. So me camping 1 on eHaley was pretty dumb because now he can just kind of steal it. So he does his vengeance, he moves up, he's not going to allocate anything, and right away he's looking for the assassination, and I'm a little bit worried. Now he goes first with the Black Banes, and I thought they were movement 6, but it turns out they're movement 7. And once he does that first move and gets that one right by eHaley, I know I'm screwed, because now he's going to feat, I'm going to be stationary, and even behind the wall, I'm just going to be defense 9 after stationary plus the wall defense, the cover. So yeah, he's going to hit that no problem, get 3 shots at me, and with only 15 boxes. You know, actually, if you wouldn't have the one to steal away, maybe you couldn't do it, but ouch. So right now, I mean, He's just needing to get the Bane Knights out of the way first. So he's just kind of trying to figure out what's the best way to deal with them. Now, of course, it'd be nice to do the feet first so that all their stuff automatically hits, especially against my high defense. But order of activations, right? Goreshade is just kind of trapped in the back a little bit. So they're coming up here, getting out of the way, going after my gun mages. They're going to kill one or something or two. I mean, the biggest thing is he needs like 9s to hit. But once he hits, weapon masters against my pajamas, that's no problem. So now there's nothing else that really needs to happen. It's going to be Goreshade going. And I mean, like, the other thing, too, is like this guy, he has a ghostly horse. So he doesn't even care about Pathfinder. So he's actually going to be declaring a charge up against Thorn. And with reach on his weapon, too, he's going to be going through the flag to kind of plop himself there on the right. I mean, like, the big thing here is that spell he casts only has a range of 8, so he does have to make sure he's close enough. The Arc Node might have been able to sneak in close enough, especially if he was able to kill a couple of those Rangers or something, but he's going to be able to get it close enough with this here. It really doesn't matter the damage he does. Before he attacks, he pops his feet. He doesn't stationary Thorn, but he stationaries all of the Blazers, all of the Rangers, almost all the gun mages, and most importantly, he stationaries eHaley. So, yeah, now it's just rolling time. And like I said, the way that the math worked out, he exactly killed me. So if he didn't have that one focus, that wouldn't have happened that way. However, instead of doing the spell 3 times, he just would have done 2 boosted ones, and it probably would have worked out anyway. We were talking about maybe I should have gone back and kill box myself, but then he could have scored on the left. He could have probably dominated on the top there if he really dedicated to it. He could have won by scenario if I deathclocked myself. So that's why I think when it came down to this, man, it's like one of those casters. Like when you face against E. Kane, it almost seems like, okay, are you doing a scenario that's kill box or not? It's such a huge deal. So thanks for watching. I mean, he's just going to roll the dice and kill me now. But yeah, for those who don't know, Goreshade3, he is a force to be reckoned with. And hopefully in the future I'll get better with my eHaley and stand a better chance. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.